Welcome into the Chop and Beef Show, episode number episode numbers, I don't know, six,
Sure.
season number
That was
5.
last week.
Yeah, math, same old.
Niners.
Coming to you live from Mom's basement. I am the Beef. I got JJ in Tampa up here. I got Zach Locks Parker in Savannah, Georgia over here.
Oh,
And I am in,
I got it right.
where am I?
You're in the island.
Yep. I'm on Defusky Island. I'm not in Mom's basement. I'm a liar. What's up, fellas? What's going on?
Liar. You're a liar. We're all liars.
Possible big rumors in Tampa, boys.
Yeah, what's going on?
Not that I'm saying I'm the reason, but I could be.
Here we go.
Likely.
I could
Please.
be. Big
Go ahead.
rumors about Tom Brady and Giselle breaking up.
Really?
Yeah. Those 11 days where I guess, marriage therapy or whatever the hell. And a little bit of plastic surgery.
You think he got some plastic surgery done?
It looks like it.
There's a lot going on with that.
I think that's the fountain of youth for him.
I mean,
Now, Giselle, on the other hand, was all on her own free will.
that's okay, though.
That's,
We don't have a problem with that.
Oh, for you and Giselle?
yeah, she's
Yeah, how'd that go?
she's
You ever
rubbish.
see them?
Huh?
You ever see them?
Never.
At the grocery store?
No.
The
Yeah,
cigar bar?
yeah, they shop for their own shit.
At the cigar bar? Hanging out?
You would hear friends and others that said that they would see the Jeter all the time.
I never saw Jeter. I never saw Joe Madden. I never seen Tom Brady and Giselle. Never saw any of those guys that lived here.
Yeah, it's weird.
Well, I mean, they may
Now,
not live.
Casey and I
Tampa's a
saw Tino a bunch of times drunk.
Yeah.
We were drunk.
We were drunk. Yeah.
Well, that
Go
was
ahead.
the island, though, too, as opposed to Tampa.
Jeter lived on the island.
Right.
Yeah.
Jeter's
Yeah.
house was
Tom
on the
lived in
island.
the same house for
Brady-
a few months, a season.
Brady lived in Jeter's.
Yeah.
And maybe if we still lived there, we would have seen him around. I don't know. Like, we would see the hockey team all the time.
Now, I do see 3 of the Lightning at the cigar bar.
Yeah, I mean, they're around all the time, but
Yeah,
they're
they're-
less famous than.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're good guys, though.
So, speaking of seeing famous people,
Right.
I had a run-in the other night with
Uh-oh.
one of my heroes here in South Carolina,
Oh, no.
club
Spurs.
champion Mark Messier. We
You
went to
finally
dinner.
had it?
We went to dinner the other night over on
Yes.
Harbor Town, and so we took a little boat before our membership expired, and went over there. And on our way back, I just heard this voice, this booming, wonderful voice, and the angels from above started chimes and all this. And I looked to my right, and that beautiful bald head was sitting right there at the bar, hugging some people, taking pictures, and I chickened out and didn't go up to him.
What?
Come on, man.
What?
You must have been sober.
I was extremely.
That'll do it.
Yeah.
What's
Yeah.
the song in the March Madness, One Shining Moment?
Yeah.
You had it.
He was with his dad, and they were having dinner, and I just didn't want to be that guy.
He's been with that guy all his life. He doesn't give a shit.
Oh.
Oh, what
Yeah.
you're
Yeah, blew
what
it.
a disappointment.
Blew it. I peed on his boat, though. So, college football is back because that's really what we're all about. With
Did you have
No.
to do like a sneaky selfie, like over the shoulder, like you?
I was
and him,
going to, but
in
I
the
think
back?
he saw me. I think he saw me staring at him from about 50 yards
You have a
away.
way about you with the stare. I've seen
Well,
that.
it's a big head, so it's hard to
Yeah.
like.
And you never forget the Casey Stalker stare. It's pretty
You
much
can- Yeah, feel the
with
pressure.
Drool, with Drool coming down the corner. I've seen it with Tino. He's
I've
like,
seen it too. The one time with Tino, I was shocked. I was like, okay, like you can't even carry on a conversation right now. This is
Yeah,
really
it's
weird.
like-
I thought it'd be over by now. An
Wake
hour
up.
later.
wake up.
Yeah, and my kids running down the dock, waiting for the boat to come pick us up to go back to Treasure Island. And my wife's like, just go. And I think that pressure just got to me a little bit. And,
Yeah, no.
I
Pressure,
just
yeah,
couldn't
boy,
couldn't
boy,
perform. Couldn't
Okay.
perform. Yeah, one of my heroes. Absolutely. I was thinking of a funny little side story too before we get into the crux of it. So the other day, we were going. Laura and my son were at the pool, and so I had to finish my work day. So I was going to go meet him. So she sends me a text. She's like, "Hey, when you get to the pool, look who's at the bar. So everyone here knows it's kind of like the Tino on Davis Island thing. Everyone here knows that I want to meet Mark Messier. So when she sends me that text, that's all I'm thinking. And so, like, I'm driving on the golf cart down the beach road. It's rough.
Rehearsing what you're going to say.
Right.
Literally rehearsing what I'm going to say, Zach. Like, what do I say first?
Mr. Sir,
Do I call him "Oh Captain, my Captain," like a Dead Poets Society? Do I I'm just running through all this scenarios.
Hey, Mark, hey, buddy, how's it hanging?
So I get to the pool, and now Ryan and Laura are like the only two that are there anyway. And I walk up to the bar, and one of the bartenders who had been on paternity leave for about 2 months was back working, who I really like. So it was just him. I could have sworn she was setting me up for Messier, but no, it was Josh the bartender.
Hey to Josh.
Yeah, and so I walk up and I'm like, I'm ready,
Look around the corner, like, is he in the bathroom?
Bless it, Josh.
And as soon as I saw Josh, I was like,
it is so good to see you, and a disappointment at the same time.
So good.
It was so true.
Tremendous.
It's so true.
Oh wow,
Marty, I'm just here so I don't have to download the podcast. Well, I might send it to you
Marty.
later.
Very efficient.
Later. I'm glad the internet is working back in Kyle, Texas. All right, boys.
Yeah.
In typical Chop and Beef Show fashion, we're gonna preview West Virginia, Pittsburgh.
I like it.
How about Tennessee, Ball State? Can we preview that one too?
How many double wides get burned down if West Virginia wins?
All right, what I want to do seriously is go through, and I know we have scores, so we can cheat a little bit, but I want fast, no thinking, who wins these 4 games tonight. All right, I'm just going to throw them at you and just scream at me, yell at me, loud.
Right.
Who's going to win? Central Michigan, Oklahoma State.
Oklahoma State.
Oklahoma State.
What was that, Jeff?
I had a stroke. Oklahoma State.
That's a fine. As our idol says, that's a fine. Central Michigan, I did that one. That's a fine. West Virginia, Pitt. 7-3 West Virginia right now. 8:19 left in the second quarter. Ball State, Tennessee. How about that game, real quick, before we go through the next one, the last one? Is first play of the game, Ball State throws an interception. Second play of the game, Tennessee scores a touchdown.
24-0.
Good start.
That's final score?
It's
6:30 left.
6 minutes left in the second. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oklahoma State's up 30-7. So this game really kind of sucks. I thought it was a good idea in my mind.
I love it.
Yeah, no, keep going. Is there one?
The last one, which we can't really cheat too much on, is Penn State, Purdue.
Penn State.
Where's it at?
It's at Purdue.
Home team.
You're going Purdue?
You're ruining the whole. I'm going Purdue. Yeah. Ross Ade Stadium.
What is the line? I mean,
West Lafayette.
Those teams are not good, are they?
Penn State 3.5. Purdue's getting a lot of preseason love out of the Big Ten. I think they're just. It's like one of those things when the ACC was so down, they're just searching for another team that they can talk about.
Yeah,
it just seems like Purdue is
Ohio State, Penn State.
Michigan.
The COVID year really took the shine off of Penn State. Remember when they were like preseason 5 and they lost the first 3 or something, or 3 or 4 or something?
They were ridiculous.
Yeah.
Aiden O'Connell, the quarterback for Purdue's getting a lot of love.
Didn't he just sign a 10-year contract with Purdue?
Speaking of 10-year contracts, Sean Clifford is the quarterback for Penn State, and I swear he's been there.
Been there a minute. Several whiteouts.
He was there for as long as Hunter Renfrow was at Clemson.
He's getting his doctorate.
This is his 5th year. He's actually played 5 years. How do you do that? Oh,
COVID year. So what is it? Really like his 6th?
So he started in 19, 20, 21, and now 22. He was the starter.
19, 20, 22.
Gonna be a hell of an NFL backup.
19, 20, 21, and 22.
Oh.
And he played in a couple games in mop-up duty in 18.
Whew.
That's
some people just don't want to grow up.
Yeah, I don't blame him. I mean, he's killing it there.
I mean, you're 26, 27 years old, going to bed with 18-year-old kids. What the hell?
Tomorrow night, there's 5 games, too. that I want to do.
They're not great. No,
They're
am I
not great.
wrong?
They're not good. They're not bad.
You mean
They're
like
not
34-0 Tennessee over Ball State?
Michigan. Oh, it was a directional Michigan game in a state.
Directional Michigan. There's a directional Illinois. There's a directional Kentucky.
Don't we already have one directional Michigan game tonight?
I think so.
Central Michigan, right?
Oh, Central Michigan's getting their doors blown off by Oklahoma State. Yes.
Right.
But tomorrow you got Virginia Tech traveling to Old Dominion.
Old Dominion.
Oof.
I think Virginia Tech's going to be very down this year.
Yeah, but it's still Old Dominion.
Why is that?
They don't have anybody.
Huh.
Their quarterback is a transfer from Marshall. They don't have a go-to wide receiver. They lost 3 running backs.
I see where you're coming from.
Their offensive line, they may not have enough kids that are actually on scholarship on their offensive line.
So basically, a typical Virginia.
But they got the lunch pail.
But not anymore. He gone.
They have a great defense and great special teams. So
I don't know if
it'll be a 10-3 game.
Stay?
I think the lunch pail needs to stay. I think ODU gets the win tomorrow. There you go. I'm putting it out there.
You're taking Old Dominion already? Really?
Jeff gets on me. There's going to be a big upset this weekend, and I'm just trying to search for it.
Yeah, but that's going to be mentioned later.
Yeah, I was looking at the picks because I'm actually going to do it this year. I'm gonna join the crew.
Oh, that means
I'm going to do the
invited.
games.
You're not invited.
Okay, then I don't have to. But I'm going to give you my 2 cents because that's about what it's worth.
That and $10 get you a coffee at Starbucks.
How about Temple and Duke? You're not interested?
We talking about basketball? Or?
Yeah.
Speaking of sleeping, how about TCU Colorado in the nightcap, or what I like to call Locks' Saturday morning checker?
Yeah. I probably won't even check that.
Good game.
You're not even going to look at it.
Both teams got nothing.
News to me that that's a game.
Sunny Cumby. Mm-hmm. How about the Illinois versus the Phoenix-less Indiana Hoosiers?
Illinois, Indiana. That's a bad.
Illinois looked good last week against Wyoming.
They did.
They did. And then finally, Tennessee Tech and Kansas.
Tennessee Tech all the way.
Oh yeah, Kansas is terrible.
That's Friday night.
Boy, that was exciting.
Yeah, there's finer high school football games than most of those.
We'll get to
your Bluefield Beavers.
We'll get to your finer football game. That's on the back side of this sheet right here.
That's a big. Is your hand enormous, or is that a small piece of paper?
My hand.
Very small piece of paper.
That's called one ply.
I had to stop at a rest stop yesterday.
Yeah.
I forgot. Did Locks? Did you get the double steak grilled cheese burrito?
I couldn't have tasted it if I got it. No, I didn't get it.
Doesn't matter. There's the challenge.
You're after everybody, posted how theirs went. I was like, it just doesn't seem worth it. Everybody was complaining about how expensive it was. I was like, I don't.
It was delicious.
Really.
Case, rewind and tell them about the challenge that we did.
All right. So last week, for those of you who didn't watch or listen or care, we decided, as we're apt to do, especially in the off season, is to talk Taco Bell. We kind of talk Taco Bell at this point. Like, I'm kind of pissed they're not a sponsor in some capacity. Like, give me some free hot sauce packets or something. I mean, seriously.
I just want a T-shirt.
They're
free.
Wait, another T-shirt.
On the line or something,
Yeah, it's not something. Like, throw me a side of sour cream.
Hey, how about a onesie? Remember the onesies?
Those onesies were fire.
They were fire sauce.
Literally. So last week we had Palcon, friend of the show. We had Rai on last week too for a little bit. He kind of derailed the whole show, which is why the intro has trains derailing. But it was perfect because we had a whole thing. I mean, basically, I might as well just take in this paper and just ripped it up because we didn't really get to anything. It was perfect. But last week we talked about Taco Bell. They brought it back, which they are also apt to do.
Yeah.
The grilled cheese stuffed burrito. Double steak grilled cheese stuffed burrito for only $7.99.
However, Secretariat fit in this whole burrito.
It was a big burrito.
That's
Yeah.
what I was wondering. Like, I didn't know how to even order the thing. Because, we've been over this. I get the same thing over and over and over every time we go. Would you just get just that and a drink? Is that enough food?
Yes, they do have a box for you. It is. I think it was enough food.
What's in the box?
I got the box, and it had a chalupa, which are terrible now. Why is
You
that
don't get
still on the
that.
menu and gorditas are not? God.
Sterling word letter.
Yeah, it's coming. You can feel it, right? In the air tonight. Thank you,
So
Phil Collins.
anyway, the challenge was to eat this grilled double steak burrito.
Because, and then see how long it took to expunge.
Right. Release the Kraken.
Expunge. Speaking of sponge, Brian Jackson checks in. Good to see him as always. To expunge the grilled double steak burrito. Well, I have some gastro issues, so I thought I was on performance enhancing non-drugs, or just
Doomed. Yeah.
performance enhancing heredity, and it still took me, 4 hours and 15 minutes before I went to the
Everybody's posting a stopwatch on their phone.
Well, yeah, because we've never experienced this before.
No, the normal order, it's
25 minutes.
Yeah,
like
I
I
would say
joke,
40
I
on the high
eat it on
side.
the toilet, but it's so it's one of those things, and I know that
We get that, and then the first photo is of the burrito. Then we get the stopwatch, and then we get the pants dropped. All within a day. It's like a whole day. Typically it's an hour, but it's a day.
It was a good pre-show meeting. It really was.
It was, yeah. That was a brain teaser for all of us.
Brian Jackson chomps back in with chalupa tastes like a sponge. Yeah, it wasn't even good. I used to like them, so I don't know what happened to them.
I tell you what happened. When it finally happened, where it's like, all right, it's time to go. I wasn't even sweating. It was just
it wasn't even good. Like, it was.
Isn't that good? That's
I
not a
thought
good
it was.
thing. We should be
my
it is a good thing.
expectations were really dropped.
As Locke said
You know what I'm saying?
in our meeting, he said that there was too much cheese, and that's probably true
it.
for most,
Block
unless
you
you're
up.
lactose intolerant. I mean, this had all the makings of me winning. I'm not sure what winning means in this context, but I was ready to win, and I didn't win.
Just put cheese whiz on top of it. I mean, you guys are just backed up.
I even did hot sauce. I did the sauce. I did everything.
Yeah.
And
they put the little tortilla strips in the burrito. Like, it's delicious. It's delicious.
It's got everything you could possibly want into fast food, horrible food.
I guess we'll just have to try again.
We will. We'll go to the next thing. Well, there is certain. There is our JJ and I definitely are loyal Levitard people, and they were talking the other day about something. And that thought completely just left my mind. So you just literally saw my brain stop live. Yeah, just completely stopped. They were talking about something.
What?
Nice.
Yeah, true story. This is the most wonderful time of the year.
College football season.
Yep.
Okay, do we have our alarm set for early Saturday morning?
Come down in your PJs with your footies on, running down.
Yeah, and your little
clapping.
Just so excited! Yay, Kirk Herbstreit! Yay, Big Crusoe!
Oh, Corso's drunk again.
No, he's just older than old.
Wouldn't you be after 50 years doing that show?
Yeah, people were giving him a hard time last week. I know he misspoke, but I mean, he's 140 years old. They don't have him on all the time anymore. He just comes in for his little segments.
Thank God.
Like,
he saw the first forward pass. Give him a break.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's great. Just let him be his old man. Like, people take way too seriously if you're getting angry.
87 people. 87.
Yeah, but that's cool.
I can't take it. I can't.
Are you sympathetically embarrassed?
And it doesn't happen to me often, but I just get like I'm just
you are Corso-esque right now, and you're half his age.
I don't disagree at all.
Score update: UCF 28, South Carolina State nothing.
That's a game.
It's a great game. It's football.
Wow. It's football. It doesn't matter.
Practice round. Who cares?
This West Virginia Pitt game's kind of stalled out. Daddy's got the over. We're not real happy right now. But go ahead. Continue.
Well, I don't really have anything else.
I need about 42 more points.
Speaking of the over, I'm a little upset about. I got to mention something politically. Okay.
Mm.
The state of Kansas,
Yes.
which literally is living proof that God takes a shit,
Wow.
has sports gambling.
Yeah.
Sports gambling in
Just started.
Kansas.
Yep.
Florida,
Nope.
second largest population in the country,
Ton of money
doesn't
to make.
have a state income tax. You think they would want revenue?
Doesn't make sense. I know.
Fuckers. They took it away from us.
I probably told this story multiple times, but I'm getting old and I forget. But when I went to Kansas,
speaking of Corso,
when I went to Kansas, our friends, the haters, they're good, great people, right? I went out to see Sterling, Kansas. So I flew into Wichita. I flew into Wichita, Kansas. I forget where I flew first. Maybe Chicago, probably.
You landed on a crop duster?
Landed on a crop duster, and our friend JJ and I's friend Gary said, if you need something to eat, stop in Wichita, because in the 2.5 to 3 hour trip it is from Wichita to Sterling, there is nothing.
Yeah.
So I was, not that I didn't believe him, but I'm like, there's gotta be something.
You might as well be on the moon.
There was nothing.
Yeah.
Literally nothing. I was driving and it was dark. I came in pretty late at night and I saw this like beacons of light, literally just darkness road. And then like this beacon, it looked like a rest stop. And I'm like, he's lying. There's one rest stop here. It was like a salt factory or something like that.
Yeah, for the roads.
for salt licks, so you can still survive.
It was huge, but I'm driving. I'm like, that's not an exit, or is it anything that I can eat?
I've been west of Chicago in Illinois, and same thing, it's just flat, and there's not even like a place to get gas. Which just blows my mind. There's like nothing. There's just nothing.
There's no exits.
There's nothing. It's just.
But when he says Kansas, it is literally nothing.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Nothing.
Sure. Fields.
So we went to dinner, and it was a 45-minute ride to dinner.
I grew up that way.
To Hutchinson, Kansas.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Hutch, as it's called. But like they had this cute little downtown in Sterling, and it was like every other Western movie that you've ever seen, even though we were in the Midwest. It was just like whippoorwills flying down the street, a little mom and pop grocery store that you get your beer and your food and your grits. The little mom and pop like diner that you get food, where the mayor's eating, with his wife and 35 kids. I mean, this old timey little place. It was cool.
You went to kindergarten with your wife.
So it's my hometown. Great. All right.
It's Manaway, Ohio. Marty says I drove 100 miles in West Texas without seeing another car.
Yeah, but you can put 10 cans
at 100 miles an hour, probably too.
That was a very similar experience. A very similar experience. We got big games in week 1. Speaking of similar experiences,
let's go. Enough Kansas talk.
We won't do our picks quite yet. That'll come up next.
Oh, that's what we like to call a tease in the biz, folks. That's a tease.
Yeah, I'm not even doing good. I'm not doing good segues. This nasal thing's got me. This old game hat I pulled out of the closet.
What do you want to do? Where you want to take this boat?
Fridges. God.
I know, right? It seems like I have my eyebrows. In my old age, my eyebrows are going crazy, especially since I stopped getting my hair cut from Kimmy Long. Speaking of Kimmy Long, where's her husband tonight? He's not.
We don't need those comments yet.
He's not in the comments.
Don't look up. You won't see him. Look down.
But yeah, ever since she used to do my eyebrows, now I got these hangers and stuff. That's how you know you're getting old.
Yeah,
you're getting old.
Big games this week. One thing I wanted to talk about first was these neutral site games. Big neutral site, which I agree. I think that if a team from the West Coast is playing a team from the East Coast, you definitely want somewhere like in the middle to allow both teams to evenly come. So for UGA and Georgia and Oregon, they chose some right in the middle in Atlanta, Georgia.
Perfect. I guess Indianapolis must have been booked up, or I don't know what's going on. Dallas,
Minnesota.
Chicago is probably close to the middle.
Yeah, the weather's still nice. Maybe Arrowhead.
Kansas City would probably be a good spot for it.
How about the turnover? How about the turnover in the stadium? Having a game on Saturday and Monday, pretty strong.
No, I think it's fake though, isn't it? Yeah.
What?
It's not grass. It's a dome.
I
Right?
know, but you still got to clean up all the fucking beer cans and shit in the parking lot and inside the stadium.
That's what they got bums for.
So, I mean,
yeah, they need to make money too.
yeah, that don't work that way. I don't think.
No.
It's not 5 cents a can anymore.
No.
Speaking of dating ourselves.
Jesus.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of the fact that they're playing this game in Atlanta. Although, I mean, if they're going to call it a neutral site, then play it in some place that really is neutral. I saw a thing today that said Georgia's responsible for like 46,000 tickets or something like that. And I'm making up numbers, but it's you'll see in a second. Oregon's responsible for 6,000 tickets.
Yeah. I think Oregon's just doing their interview for the SEC.
And they're going to be getting paid by Chick-fil-A or whoever the sponsor is of the game, and Georgia's getting $500,000 more than Oregon. It's like because they get to take their buses instead of planes. So basically, Oregon's going to be losing money to come to Atlanta to put a whooping on the Dogs.
Didn't the defensive coordinator for Georgia go to Oregon?
Yeah, he's the head coach.
Yeah, he's the head coach right now. Yeah.
Dan Lanning.
So that will be interesting.
Is the worst part of anybody I've seen. Remember, y'all see that video I sent you? His hair is parted right above his ear. Notice this? The guy is like 35. His hair, like the part's right here. Just watch. Trust me. That's ridiculous.
That's why you come to Chop and
guy who has no
talk about hair parts.
That kind of analysis is what we need for this show.
If we had
tremendous,
if we have some experts, it's definitely in the hair department. Here,
solid point.
The guy who always wears a hat and has cowlicks all over himself, and then these two schmoes.
Got nothing for you. How about the other stadium? You're talking about Atlanta, LSU. How often do they play in New Orleans?
Neutral site.
Neutral, even in the college football playoff, it's what 45 minutes from LSU. Bunch of
That's
bullshit.
A little bit better because Tallahassee's only a couple hours. I mean, I think.
I mean, it's a 2.5 hour drive, 3 hours.
Longer than that.
So it's a little bit better. It's a little bit better, but it's
still
not.
What place? LSU. I mean, that's like their second home always.
Yeah, pretty much.
Bullshit.
Yeah, they own that.
I'm just waiting to see what accent comes out of Brian Kelly's mouth this game.
Toolbox.
It's a complete full toolbox.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, it's 5.5 hours. All right, no big deal.
Yeah, close.
Tallahassee to
3 states.
New Orleans?
That's what it says here on the old Google machine.
Okay.
Tallahassee to Mobile.
The bus does drive slower than normal cars, so yeah.
Tallahassee to Mobile is 3.5 hours. So, yeah.
Mobile.
Yeah, that panhandle's a most boring damn straight shot.
Yeah, I did that drive once too.
How much fun was that?
I don't sleep in a car, and I slept because I was so tired. I worked all day and left at night and fell asleep and woke up to like weaving and doing 120 miles an hour down I-10. And so I was like, well, this is probably why I don't sleep in vehicles. Like this nightmare right here.
Feels good.
Yeah.
Well, if you would have stayed asleep and had an accident, you wouldn't have felt anything.
Then on the way back, I don't know why I didn't drive first, but I didn't. But the New York Rangers were on, so I was just listening to the New York Rangers in my headphones, and I had my eyes closed, and I was like, just focus on the game. Focus on the game. But I'm here, so we made it.
You're alive. No complaint.
Utah, Florida is another game. Pac-12 coming to the SEC. This one not neutral site. This one is at Florida. I'm extremely intrigued by this game. I don't know why, but I am extremely intrigued. Utah's getting their preseason love. Hopefully the Pac-12 is coming back to the playoff this year for the first time. And if anybody, it's going to be Utah or Southern Cal, but probably not yet. But they come into the swamp. It's going to be 475 degrees. We've been there.
It'll be hot as fuck down there.
There's a reason it's called the swamp.
Yeah.
And
because your ass.
I bought
a malaria pill before you get into the game.
A malaria pill.
That's a good town though. That's a good town.
Pro
That's a
tip.
good town.
Pro tip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh God. Yeah. It was fun.
So our resident Western Kentucky grad / Alabama fan / 4'6" guy, Bill Long chimes in with Pac-12 coming back. Ha 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 ha.
Stroke.
Thanks for checking in, Bill. We were just talking about your wife a second ago.
I'm thinking about that game. I like that game myself. I'd really like to see that because supposedly the Utes are really up there in everyone's kind of opinion.
That is the hot money line pick of the weekend.
Is it?
Yeah.
Florida
on the money line with the upset. It is.
It's only
definitely.
3 points.
Yeah, it's
3. They're coming across the
if
country.
you look on the old the matchup predictor on ESPN, they got Florida picked.
3, Bill. 1, 2, 3.
Spreads 3 and money lines Florida plus 118. So,
wow.
Yeah. I don't know.
Utah boys might not even be playing in this heat.
I don't know what it is. I mean, I heard Florida's not supposed to be that great, but evidently this quarterback must be better than what I recall.
First year coach, but that's fair.
That is fair. No, it's all fair in love and chop and beef.
That's right.
And then I think the marquee matchup of the week, although in my opinion, I'm really looking forward to Utah, Florida, is that Notre Dame Ohio State game. Big number on the spread here. We'll talk about that. That is one of our games that we'll pick in a little bit.
Right.
But give me some thoughts, JJ. I know you're a fan. Yeah. I know you're down on this game for Notre Dame, but what would be? I talked to Palk a good bit earlier today, and he was trying to
talk it up.
Talk it up a little bit. Not bad. He's reasonable. He really is, especially with me because I give it back to him. But what would be considered a win for Notre Dame this weekend, besides winning the game, if that makes any sense whatsoever?
Hell, I got it. Yeah,
a moral victory is what you're saying.
That's right. Yeah.
If they don't
double digits or less, what are we thinking?
10 or less.
Yeah, I think that's fair, Jeff. Unfortunately,
10 or less, and it's a moral victory because you are playing number 2, and you are playing against a quarterback who's up for the Heisman or on Heisman watch
at home, first game of the year
with great receivers.
Yeah,
a full package team, and and a first game. Not including the bowl games, a first game regular season head coach.
First game regular season head coach for Marcus Freeman in Notre Dame. First game regular season defensive coordinator, new school for Chuck Knowles at who are they playing? Ohio State.
Ohio State, that's it.
Much maligned defense, but he comes from Oklahoma State, which had a very, very good defense last year. A little familiarity there with Notre Dame and Chuck Knowles because they played each other. They played Oklahoma State
last game of the season.
Game.
Yeah.
Little familiarity with Tommy Rees and Chuck Knowles too. So there's going to be maybe a little bit of chess while I play checkers.
Yeah, I think so. If they, like I said, if they lose by 10, okay.
I got Ohio State by 28.
Bill Long says, "Don't ruin it. We got picks."
I'm just giving an opinion. I don't know.
Because Irish have the best tight end in college football. He is.
They have 3 of them, don't they?
At least top 3. Michael Mayer is the guy he's talking about. I'm sure.
Like you said, what was the joke last week? Notre Dame's going to have a 4 tight end offensive set.
Yeah, 4 tight ends.
Yeah.
Sure.
Well, let's get into the picks of the week. Let's get into the picks of the week. I knew I put it.
There's another good game in the picks of the week too. You can speak of. So go ahead.
Before we get to the picks,
we got some picks and picks. We got predictions. We got picks. We got it all.
Before we go there, we talked in our chat real quick, and I'm not a big uniform guy. We had a guy in college that would talk about bringing out the big game unis.
Yeah. Those suck.
Do you have a favorite uniform of a school that's not your school, not the school you root for, not the school you went to? Do you have one or no? Because I was thinking, I probably don't, but I could come up with one.
I love UCLA's.
Mm-hmm.
I think that says Southern California. The gold, the light blue. I think that's a good look. UCLA's.
Good pick. Good choice.
Yeah, I was thinking just opposite across the town. I was thinking USC with the
Big red guy.
and the gold and the pants. Yeah, I think it's flashy.
Bill Long likes the Hawaii Rainbow Warriors.
Right. Is that the old retros, Bill, or is that the current black and green? I know it's Hawaii, jackass.
In case you can't pick Oregon.
Well, that was the only one I was thinking, to be honest.
Which
But
one?
I will tell you the reason. Yeah, exactly. I like the
Which
yellow
one?
on white plus silver helmets.
Reflection.
This is gonna sound bad because I don't like them anymore at all. But I kind of started my college football fandom really liking the Georgia uniform. I really liked the way that they looked with the G on the helmet. It was kind of cool for me. I also liked University of Miami's uniform with the U. So don't like either of those teams anymore, but those were my teams, I guess, growing up.
And you got to think, in the 90s,
retro.
There was one movie that was based on a football program, and they copied Florida State's. Florida State
pretty good.
Always had a good look. That maroon and gold with that gold spear, that gold helmet spear, that was always kind of badass.
ECU, the program.
What what I don't like, and I know it's a rule, hard and fast rule. Penn State,
you know when all white.
When UCLA
gets your sheet out, matches your sheet.
When USC Southern Cal plays UCLA, why can't those uniforms play each other? Why you
they do? They did that last year, I think.
Yeah,
they do it.
They'll do the colors.
Sometimes there's always the home team's white. Usually,
no, but I think last year they did the light blue, red jerseys.
See, that's awesome. Yeah. You know,
it was cool.
There's one team that always kind of like doesn't get to show off their cool unis sometimes. You know, it's like
it was like the NFL did those color rush things. I think that was hot at the time. So those two schools were like, you know what? They clash at every other. You know, you don't necessarily need the white.
Well, it's always for the officials to, there's some poor colorblind official out there, which is scary if that's true. But, like, you can't tell me you can't tell the teams apart. Let's go. I mean, let's just make we got these HD TVs, make a color.
And I tell you, it looks good on TV when you put those two teams together.
It's cool.
Oh, that's good looking. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the only thing to root for because the teams sucked last year.
Did we do this last week? We have our predictions for conference champions and finalists for the playoff.
We didn't do that last week.
Pull out your
we got sucked in.
It's in the shredder right here.
Yeah.
So
all we gotta do is just go name the playoff teams.
All right, who do you got for the playoff?
Okay, let's go. Bama, Ohio State. Okay. Georgia. I'll put Georgia in again because they don't have to play Bama until probably the SEC championship. And I don't know why. I just got that itch. It's bugging me. I've had it for a week. USC. USC is going to be the surprise team this year.
It's called craps.
I've never
Zach, what
had
do you think?
Wow. I thought I did once, but no.
You forgot the orange team. Fuck.
Oh, I did forget those guys, didn't I?
You can't take it back now, you cocksucker. We'll just go ahead and
I forgot about Miami.
See what you did there. I got Clemson, Bama, Ohio State, and I'm not going to go Georgia again. I'm going to go USC too. I am. I don't know enough about Georgia. I don't see it happen 2 years in a row the way it did last year. Maybe it will. Prove me wrong. But I think Georgia lost a lot of talent. I don't know who they're losing to because their schedule is cupcake. But I don't know. I mean, I hope it doesn't go the same because that would just suck. But
you hope a team like Kentucky or a team like Tennessee doesn't explode their load tonight on All State when they play. You hope They get them.
For your guys, what you can finally say after a couple of years, the ACC is looking a little better.
Finally,
five ranked teams right now.
You know, with Pitt and NC State,
Wake,
Miami, Clemson. I mean,
Wake lost their quarterback, but they're still banging up VMI tonight, 17-0.
So, I mean, you know, you guys can finally say, hey, we got some ranked teams on the board this year. And, you know, and I know your quarterback, he was Heisman talk last year. Is he going to show up this year for it? I think he is.
Just read a thing. He bought the entire team Beats by Dre headphones.
I saw that too. How did he get his money?
NIL. Dr. Pepper last year.
Is he sponsored by the doctor?
Pepper.
Yeah. Oh, he got paid by Dr. Pepper.
Did he get paid by the doctor of Dre too?
Maybe. He might have. Maybe.
He
is an LA guy. His dad was Dre's bodyguard.
That is right. Was he a bodyguard?
Oh, what? I didn't know that.
Yeah, he was for a rapper, right? Yeah. Was it Dre or was it?
It was Snoop. It was all those guys from California.
I bet he got the hook up that way too. Yeah, for sure.
They're not hurting.
Was he bodyguarding or was he killing roaches?
So week 5, week 5 when he transfers to another team, everybody gets free headphones, and don't forget about him. What I say?
Yeah.
Don't forget about Dre. Oh, I'm going Utah, Clemson, Alabama, Ohio State. I just think
going with the Utah.
I think Clemson's defense. I'm buying in on Utah. Saturday's a big game. I think they come to Florida and put it on the Gators. And Bama, just because it's Bama, Ohio State is my pick to win the whole thing, which I hate saying, and I'm going to pause the show right now so I can vomit.
Makes you puke in your mouth a little bit.
You okay?
A lot of it. I don't like it at all.
Is it right here, right now? Is it
a lot of it?
I got a neighbor right here. Who we're going to go watch the Notre Dame Ohio State at his house. He's from the Cincinnati era. He's going to make some skyline chili on Saturday. No.
Oh man, is it going to be edible?
The conies are great. I mean, I love chili cheese dogs, so that's what I eat. He knows it.
Set the timer.
Oh yeah, that's definitely one.
At least you'll be able to go back to your house.
Yeah.
Yeah. He said I'll make an app. He said text me earlier. He said I'll make an appetizer that you've never had, but it'll be familiar to you. Surprise. Wonder what it is.
I agree with you on the Natty though. I think it's going to be Ohio State this year.
I think it's going to be Ohio State and Alabama, and I think Ohio State just has too much, but Bama's going to be really good too.
I think Ohio State Alabama would be a fucking awesome game.
It'd be fun to watch
because Alabama's got a pretty good defense too.
You wouldn't watch it. Has the same old.
It's two teams I can't stand.
Yeah, I agree.
Great.
It'd be fun. Let's get into our.
You taking Ohio State? You taking Bama?
I mean, I think Ohio State, but I think in that matchup it might be Bama. I don't know, just because of better defense, and you know Alabama's going to.
You never take out Saban.
Yeah, can't get him.
But you think Ryan Day's going to win one eventually?
God, I hate that guy.
Eddie Munster.
Yeah.
Let's get into our picks against the spread.
Oh yeah.
All right, let's do it.
We talked about it. This neutral site game, fair for both teams.
Absolutely.
Oregon and Georgia.
Oregon 4,000 miles from home.
Georgia is 17-point favorites. I don't care who starts. I can start, even though I'm not a part of this. I wasn't invited. I'm going Oregon to cover the 17. I'll go counterclockwise clockwise because I'm simple. Locks, you're up.
But that's clockwise.
Well, that's the other way. Yeah.
All right.
It's ruining my life.
You suck at life.
I'm taking Georgia.
Ooh.
I have no analysis.
Good. That's really good. That's why people come and watch.
That's good. I like it.
Because I live in the state. Nailed it.
There you go.
I am going to take Oregon in the 17. Just with Oregon's familiarity with Georgia, that they're going to make it close enough.
Okay, that'll get some people's pennies in a wad down in this state. Boy, oh boy,
big time, especially
17 points is just a lot of points, though.
Yeah.
All right, we'll go Cincinnati at Arkansas, staying in the SEC as locks. I mean, we are apt to. I said apt 3 times.
Solid game here too. This is 2 ranked opponents.
I think
number
this is a
23
good
versus
game.
number 19. Yeah.
Yeah.
23 at number 19, Arkansas. Arkansas 6.5-point favorites in Fayetteville.
At home.
I don't think it's any problem for Arkansas, and that's what I'm picking. Go, JJ. You go first.
I really like Arkansas's coach. I think he's found a way. I think he's found a way to get that program in the right direction.
Yep.
I want to take the 6.5. I just don't know what Cincinnati's going to do this year, but I like Arkansas on this one.
Is the Cincinnati quarterback still there? What's his name?
Desmond Ridder. No.
Yeah, he's gone. Yeah.
All right. That makes all the difference in the world. Nope. Arkansas. Nailed it.
You did nail it.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah. I think it's going to be a good game, though. It's probably like a 10-point win, though. I don't think it's like a blowout or nothing. So
I like 7. I do, because I think it's a touchdown. 7's a good number. Or 6.5, I mean, because they win by a touchdown. It's a
you got the half point.
Right.
Game that I talked about earlier. Utah is a 3-point favorite traveling across the country to the Swamp in Florida. I'm going Utah just because I picked them to win, to go to the Final Four. I think Kyle Whittingham is a tremendous coach. I think it's their year, their turn. Utah puts it on Florida.
Puts it on Florida.
Yep. It's going to be a no-doubter from the start. Locks, you go.
I can't figure out why that this is upset special other than the travel maybe or what, but I mean I kind of agree with you, Case. It's Utah for me too, and I could see them beating their ass too by like 17 or something. Just surprise the shit everybody. It'll be fucking over before it starts. So I'll take Utah.
I think it's going to be a close game till the end of the game.
Yeah.
I think
backdoor cover.
And I'm going with the Utes. I think you're right. I think the coach is great. Built a great program up there. First year coach at Florida in the big spotlight.
Mm.
Utes.
Go Utes.
We agree again. Then we have the nightcap, 7:30, ABC or CBS or NBC, one of those stations.
On the telly.
It's on TV somewhere. Notre Dame at Ohio State. As said earlier, 17-point favorites for Ohio State. I think I was not this way 3 days ago. I think Notre Dame covers. I don't think they come close to winning. I think this is a 14-point game. I just think it's too early. We expect a lot of fireworks. I keep talking about Ohio State's offense, how good it's going to be with C.J. Stroud, Trevion Henderson, Jackson Smith and Jiba, name drop, Julian Fleming, Marvin Harrison Jr., but I don't ever mention the defense. We think it's going to be better. They were awful last year. Oregon came in and ran all over them to the horseshoe. I just don't. So we have to think about Notre Dame has a decent offense, we think. We don't know what Tyler Buchner is going to be. Don't have a lot of running backs, or don't have a lot of wide receivers. They do have a tremendous tight end.
Christ, are you on the call for this one? You know both teams. Like, holy shit.
I talk to Palk a lot, and they're going to run.
I do too. I just don't always listen. Like
they could. I think they're going to take the air out of the ball, so it's not going to be ever. I think it's going to be like a 38. No, maybe a 28-21 type of game. 21,
really?
20 kind of game. Yeah, I do. JJ, you go. Notre Dame covers.
Notre Dame does not cover. I think Ohio State's going to take
most predictable prediction of all predictions is you saying that Notre Dame does not cover. Go ahead.
Well,
sorry.
I understand, but I think if Ohio State makes us a track meet with the offense they have, Notre Dame with a quarterback who's not up is going to be up for the Heisman. They're not going to be able to catch up on points, and they're going to, if they get down quick, knowing Notre Dame's tradition, when they go down quick, they go down fast, and that's just the way it is. And so I'm taking the Ohio State in 17, which is going to lead, as I've said earlier, this is going to be a 4-loss season for Notre Dame.
It's going to be a tough run. Yeah. Whoever preseason ranked them at 5 with this opening game was Very generous.
Yeah, because you're dropping down to like 18 in the next week.
I wouldn't say that. I mean,
if they get drubbed,
well, with a complete drubbing here, Ohio State could jump to 1 also. Which I don't know if that matters. Swap those.
They never let anyone jump Alabama.
I don't know. Well, I got Ohio State by 31. It just went up 3 points in the past 5 minutes. Sorry. Mark me down for minus 31.
The nuts.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a big number, man.
31.
Just to put them at 5 to help Ohio State. No other reason. Bill Long's giving good commentary tonight. I don't like it.
The spread's 20?
The 17.
Oh, 17? Okay.
17, yeah.
I had 17.
All right. We got Monday night in the Dome.
No line for this one.
There is a line. Oh, we're just picking?
No, there's a line. You just got to look for it. It's just not out because it's technically next week with a bunch of shit.
Yeah, they didn't put it out. So Clemson is right now 22-point favorites in the Georgia Dome, or Mercedes-Benz Stadium, excuse me.
Thank you. The Flowers.
Against Georgia Tech, another neutral site game that an Atlanta school is playing in Atlanta.
How many tickets are going to Clemson?
Is it a 2-hour drive? Is it a 2-hour drive for Clemson to go to Atlanta?
2.
Yeah.
Okay, so they're not. There's no jet lag.
No, it's a bus. They're busing. They're not flying.
I want to know how many. It's going to be 75% Clemson, though, right?
I don't think Georgia Tech has that many fans.
No, they don't have that many students.
I'm going Clemson to cover. I think Clemson wins big, even though last year's game was a little scary for Clemson, but most of them were. I think they right the ship this year. I think being healthy, getting them early. Everyone seems to be healthy so far, so we'll see. I think Clemson puts it on them as well.
We got enough wide receivers to field the team here? Or are they all hurt?
No, they're good right now. There's one that's hurt, but I think he had his knee scoped last year or something, and he'll be back soon.
Nice.
Yep. Who went first last time? Zach, you go first.
I think we're all taking Clemson, right?
Yeah, I think I definitely got Clemson, but I think it's more it's just Georgia Tech's not going to score. I would spot Georgia Tech 10 points, and the last 3 or 7 of that's going to come in the fourth quarter in scrub time. So
I might give Georgia Tech 10 points per quarter.
I think they're going to smash them. So yeah, give me we're going Clemson across the board. You too, JJ?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. 22.
I think they're on the rebound tour.
Yeah.
And finally, in one of the biggest rivalries in football,
that's right.
You have if I can do this right, your 11-time West Virginia State football champions, your Bluefield Beavers. They took a tough one on the chin last week to the Graham G-Men in week 0. The big rivalry, the cross-state line rivalry.
Fuck with Virginia.
Graham G-Men came into Mitchell Stadium and delivered a 29-25 defeat to our Beavers. Doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things. You always like to win the rivalry game. Bluefield returns this week to a conference foe in the Coalfield 2A conference where they play the Princeton Tigers. It's not the Ivy League. It's the Princeton Tigers. And Princeton went into Lincoln County last week and won 53-8. So Eddie Lockett likes to say, very physical football team. It's going to be a tough game. It's at Bluefield. Princeton, Bluefield. I'm going with the Beavers because I don't pick against them ever. Who you got? Locks.
Beaver Nation, rise up. What else could it be? It's going to be the Beavers.
Come on. I mean,
get off the podcast if you're picking against the Beavers.
Yeah,
absolutely.
You got
once a beaver gets licked, it always bounces back.
You're right. They stuffed it right up the beaver's ass.
All right. Okay.
Thanks for coming back. Zach Parker commented. Zach Parker with a big thumbs down. So we appreciate the thumbs down.
What? You never licked a beaver before, Lux?
Sympathetically embarrassed. That's a sympathetically embarrassed sound. So to recap, we got JJ and me went with Oregon over UGA, or not over, but to cover.
Yeah.
Zach went Georgia. All three of us went Arkansas versus Cincy. All three of us went Utah -3 at Florida. I went with Notre Dame to cover. JJ and Zach went with Ohio State to blow them out. We all went Clemson to cover. And, of course, we all went Bluefield Beavers to cover the big spread. That's all. So what else we got?
You don't beat down a beaver.
That's it.
That's it.
Hey, you heard the herb is coming back, guys.
Where's he going?
Nebraska. There's already talk.
No chance he comes back there.
Did you read that the Gamecocks settled the name of their cock?
Yeah.
A big to do about nothing.
Is it Cock Commander?
No, it's
we
Big
went from
Sur.
Cock Commander to General to they went to Sir Big Spur, back to Sir Big Spur. They settled out of court.
They blew up Twitter for a solid
this went to
24
court?
hours. Yep.
I don't think it went to court, but the two owners.
Sure,
because apparently you can sell cock all around the place, and
definitely in Columbia, yes.
Yeah, they sold this cock, and apparently some woman was really upset about it, and we have Bluefield Beaver alum Brian Jackson chiming in saying
they were able to get the cock up and usually just give it the same name it always had, huh?
Yeah. Sure do. My shredder.
That's
my
big.
Shredder's still running. See, this is what happens to my. So I hope Locks took.
Looks like an ad for Shark Week.
Impeccable notes. I'm set. I'll keep a tally in the notes app on the iPhone, as usual. Yeah. That way I can doctor it however I want when you're not looking.
He's going to be the next coach in Nebraska. Oh, God. That's like hate on top of hate.
And Sark going to make it through the year at Texas? Is Texas back?
No.
Okay. Good. And
everyone's looking at Baylor in the Big 12 this year.
Yeah, I mean, they only won the Big 12 last year, so they should be like that. But, I mean, it seems like
everyone's big on that coach.
And finally, Miami got rid of the turnover chain. Mario Cristobal is going to change the culture down there in Miami. Right. But in that, not all bad came from it, because UNLV, did you guys see this? UNLV has a turnover slot machine.
The biggest slot machine you've seen.
Right.
It was pretty cool.
Slot in Vegas. Oh, that's the best.
Wait, Bluefield's playing Bama this year?
Oh, Jesus Christ. Why does he even talk?
Who's playing Bama?
The SEC. Yeah. And then every Sisters of the Poor and every state that they don't play in a schedule on a conference.
On that note, we'll end this mess. Thanks so much for listening, watching, commenting. We appreciate all of you so much. We'll see you next week, probably, on Chop and Beef. On behalf of Zach Locks Parker, JJ in Tampa, Casey the Beef Cregan. See y'all later.
Bye.